Shalom, 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 Yasharala. This is your boy, Brother Samuel, back at you with another quick edifying video. Right, today's lesson is going to be called Lord's Will. Right, first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say Kahala Yahweh, Bahashem Mashiach Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah Kordash. That's all praises to the Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, who you ignorantly call Jesus, whose name is Yahweh Shai. Right, and the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone from Tahar on down, who have ruled well through the Spirit and have fed and edified the sheep in these last days, and has pushed this gospel and this truth to the four corners of the earth. Right? So like I said, today's lesson is going to be called Lord's Will, man. Yahweh Shema Shai's will. And definition of will, right? It says expressing the future tense, right? Expressing inevitable events, right? And I was watching it was a brother from GMS. I was watching one of his videos, man. He was touching on some of the precepts that I actually got from him, in this lesson, but the Lord's will, man. You when you understand that there is no free will, right? All this stuff is already pre-written and predestined to happen, man. So and just me and my life, I just remember, always when I was younger, and just the things that I used to say, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I ain't gonna do this, I ain't gonna do that, right? And a lot of times, the thing when I said I wasn't gonna do something, the Lord ended up having me do it. I ain't moving to. I'm not leaving California. And guess what? The Lord's will. He put me in, put me all the way across the America, man. You know what I'm saying? There's so many things in my life, man. I can testify on that. I said I wasn't gonna do, and I ended up right in that predicament. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not my will. At the end of the day, all this stuff is of the will of the Lord, right? You have no control, right? And I'm gonna go over a couple of scriptures with that. Let's get this right. Let's go to the book of Proverbs, right? Chapter 20 and verse 24. Even coming into this truth, right? You have no will. You have no power to say that's what you're gonna do, man. Right? If it's the Lord's will, He gonna make it happen. I remember I was in such a low state. I was just trying to find out, truth and trying to find out, what's really going on in this world, and the Lord, I wouldn't even say I stumbled onto this, man. The Lord directed my path unto this right here, man, so that I can come out here and I can preach and feed the sheep, man, in these last days, right? So this is Proverbs 20 and 24. It says, man's goings are of Yahweh Shema Shai. How can a man then understand his own way? Like, how can you understand your own way when Yahweh Shema Shai is directing your path? He's the one that's moving you to and fro, right? You think that you're moving, but it's not of your accord. It's all of the will of Yahweh Shema Shai at the end of the day, right? It says, so man's goings are of Yahweh Shema Shai. How can a man then understand his own way? You can't understand your own way, man. Right? If it was up to me, I'd have still been in California, probably who knows what I'd have been doing, you know what I'm saying? Just, trying to live my little life, man, But, Yahweh Shema Shai had other plans for me, man, and all praises. Kahala Yahweh Ba'Sheba Mashiach Yahushai, right? Let's get this, right? This was a good one. The brother had brought it out. I'm going to bring it out. James chapter 4 and start at verse number 13. It says, go to now, ye that say today or tomorrow, we will go into such a city and continue there a year and buy and sell and get gain, right? It's a lot of so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, and you Israelites, a lot of y'all talk a lot of stuff, man. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, right? And then when it come to it, It's not to be shown, not to be seen, you know? I had a cousin, man, told me he was gonna do all types of stuff, man, and then you see him and they chilling on the block, man, not doing nothing, you know? It says, so go to now, ye that say today or tomorrow, we will go into such a city and continue there a year and buy and sell and get gain. Right? It says, whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow. Right? Everybody planning for tomorrow, right? But tomorrow never comes because you living in that day, you know. Tomorrow ultimately never comes because you're always living in that day, that moment, you know. It says, whereas you know not what shall be on the morrow, for what is your life? It is Salakia. It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time and then vanisheth away. Right? You hear this in the world, man. Hey, you're not promised tomorrow. You're not promised tomorrow. You sit there and you say, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna get to that later. I'm gonna get to reading later. I'm gonna get to go out in the highways and hedges later. I'm gonna do this lesson later, And that's the thing about it, what you say you're gonna do and what's gonna happen is two different things. It says, for that ye ought to say, if Yahweh Shema Shai will, we shall live and do this or that, right? And that's one thing that I could attest to is just you got to stop saying what you gonna do, because the Lord gonna see. Okay, you say you're gonna do that, but we gonna see, and then man, who is man, right? We we say we're gonna do a lot of things and we end up not doing stuff, So a lot of times, even in the world, it was just like, man, okay, actions speak louder than words. So I'm gonna do it, then I can talk about it. But don't say you're gonna do it. You keep talking about it, and then it never gets done, man. You know. Let's get this right. This is it's the book of Proverbs, right? Book of Proverbs, 27 and verse number 1. It says, "Boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth." Right? You don't know what's gonna. Yeah, hey, tomorrow I'm gonna do this. Hey, I'm gonna do that. Hey, I'm gonna do this. Right? You don't know what's about to happen tomorrow. How many times have you made plans and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna wait till tomorrow, and then stuff happens, and now you in a predicament or something's going on. But ultimately, everything is Yahweh Bashim Yahshai's will, man. Right? And we got to understand that. And a lot of people can't figure that because they think that they can think, in their little minuscule mind. They can think of things and I can say this, I can do this, right? But it's all ultimately of Yahweh Bashim Yahshai. He made you think those thoughts. He made you think that you have free will or free control. And there is no free will. It's only Yahweh Bashim Yahshai's will at the end of the day. Right? Yeah, let's see. Let's get this, right? Yahweh Shai even, he even said it, right? And he left that perfect example for us. Let's go to Luke 22 and verse number 41, right? And this is Yahweh Shai knew he had to die, man. Yahweh Shai knew he had to die for the nation of Israel, man. Right? He knew his purpose, right? So this is Luke chapter 22 and verse 41. It says, "And he was withdrawn from them about a stone's cast, and kneeled down and prayed, saying, Father, if thou be willing, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but thine be done." Right? So he understood, man. It's not of his will. If it was Yahweh Shai's will, but his will was to do the Father, to do the work of the Father, and do what the Father asked him to do. And that's what we got to understand at the end of the day. The only thing we can do is do what Yahweh Shai has us to do. Right? We have no control over it. let's get another one, right? Yahushua had a parable, because you got people, yeah, I'm gonna do this, yeah, I'm gonna stack my money, I'm gonna, all this type of craziness, man, right? And Yahushua gave us a parable about that, right? This is Luke chapter 12, and I'm gonna start at verse 16, and it says, "And he spake a parable unto them, saying, The ground of a certain rich man brought forth plenty. And he thought within himself, saying, What shall I do, because I have no room where to bestow my fruits? And he said, This will I do. I will pull down my barns and build greater, and there will I bestow all my fruits and my goods. And I will say to my soul, Soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years. Take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry. Said, but the Most High said unto him, Thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Then whose shall those things be which thou hast provided? So is he that layeth up treasure for himself and not Salakia, and is not rich toward the Most High. Right? So when you thinking, especially, Jake like to plan and do stuff. I'm gonna get my paper, man. I'm gonna go out here and hustle in the street and get my paper and stack it up, right? And then what ends up happening, right? You end up getting caught up, right? They take your money, they take all your little fancy little jewelry and your car, they take all that stuff, man. Then you have nothing, man, right? Because you try to lay up treasures for yourself, and you wasn't sitting there trying to, lay up treasures for the Most High. You wasn't trying to, get this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, right? And you sitting up there trying to make plans for yourself, knowing that, hey, guess what? None of this is in your control. All it is the will of Yahweh Shema Shai at the end of the day, right? And let's get that right. Let's go to the book of Psalm, right? Let's go to the book of Psalm. 139, verse number 1. And like I say, a lot of people they don't believe it, and they can't understand it and comprehend it. That everything is of the will of Yahweh Shema Shai at the end of the day. They think that they freely doing this stuff. They freely, no, man. It's all the will of Yahweh Shema Shai at the end of the day. Right. So when you do stuff, you just, when people say, hey, Yahweh Shema Shai will, man. Lord's will, I will. You know what I mean? This is Psalms chapter 139 and verse number 1. It says, O Yahweh Shema Shai, thou hast searched me and know me. Thou knowest my down sitting and mine uprising. Thou understandest my thoughts afar off. Thou compassest my path and my lying down, and art acquainted with all my ways. For there is not a word in my tongue, but lo, O Yahweh Shema Shai, thou knowest it all together. Right? So the Most High knows from your thoughts. He knows when you wake up, when you're going to sleep, when you're about to wake up, before you wake up. He already knew all that. It's all the will of the Father. Hey, he knew that if you wasn't going to wake up, he's not going to wake up today. Right? He's going to go to sleep and he's not going to wake. You don't know that. But we know it's all the will of Yahweh Shema Shai at the end of the day. He knows all things, man. Right? He's omnipresence. Right? This is the title is called The Most High's Omnipresence and Omniscience. So he knows all things. He knows everybody's heart. He knows, who's for and who's not. And that's the thing. We have no control. We have no control over it, right? And let's get this. Right? Let's get a precept on that. Let's go to the book of Job, chapter 33 and verse number 14, right? It says, For the Most High speaketh once, yea, twice, yet man perceiveth not, right? It says, In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, in slumberings upon the bed, he openeth up the ears of men and sealeth their instructions. Right? So when you sleep, or Hey, the Most High is gonna put it in your thought to, hey, you thinking, hey, yeah, I'm about to get me some chicken today. I'm about to go get, hey, and the Lord put it in your, and now all of a sudden, that's what you think you're gonna get, and all of a sudden, hey, you go there to the chicken spot closed, or you thought you was gonna get something, you know what I mean? But just the Most High is the one who directs everybody's steps. It's all calculated and organized. If you just imagine this being a movie, everything is scripted out, to the T, to everything. To me, doing this lesson right now is all Yahweh Shem Shai's will, right? It says he opened the ears of men and sealeth their instruction, that he may withdraw men from his purpose and hide pride from man, right? So he could draw you in, like, hey, guess what? He could seal it in your mind while you sleep. Hey, guess what? You're gonna wake up one day. You're gonna wake up today. You're gonna turn on YouTube. You're gonna watch a video, and you're gonna find out that you are a child of the Most High. This is the things that he can do. It says um it says he keepeth back his soul from the pit and his life from perishing by the sword. Right? He could put it in. He puts it in your. You thinking that hey, well, every day I drive this way, and there's something in you, pre-programmed already, because it's Yahweh Shem Shai's will, saying, you know what, I'm gonna go this way today, or whoops, I gotta take a detour today, and all of a sudden, guess what? That whole lane or something happened. It could have been a car that was scheduled to run into you, man. But it's all of the will of Yahweh Shem Shai at the end of the day, man. Right? It's all the will of the Lord. Right, let's get this. Let's go to the book of Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 21 and verse number 1. It says, the king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh Shem Shai. As rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. Right? So now if the king's heart or the king's mind is in the hands of Yahweh Shem Shai, what more, us peasants and servants, what I mean, on this earth, man, right? It's all of the will. He says he turneth whithersoever he will, right? So, hey, you got people going off. Hey, that's because the Lord programmed you to go off. That's all of the Lord's will. Or to get you on that straight path, it's all of the Lord's will. You can't say that you did anything, right? It's all, at the end of the day, Yahweh Shem Shai's will, right? It says, every way of man is right in his own eyes, but Yahweh Shem Shai pondereth the hearts. So he searches and examines your mind, right? Because your heart is talking about your mind, what your thoughts are, what's going on, you know what I mean? Let's get this. Let's see, I got a couple more and I'm close out, right? This is the book of because that's the thing. Like I said, if you go off, guess what? You could be like, yeah, guess what? I'm be on it, man, right? I'm gonna fast and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I'm about to get my spirit right. I ain't gonna be going off no more, right? And the Lord calls you to go off, right? Next thing you know, you all the way off, man. You went you went all the way left. But it's all the will of the Lord at the end of the day. Because he has his plan, he has his purpose of the script that he has written, right? In this life, and you're gonna fulfill it. You're gonna do it, whether you like it, love it, believe it or not, man. Salaki. This is the book of Romans, chapter 8, and verse number 20. And it says, for the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly. It said, but by reason of him that hath subjected the same in hope, right? So all of this is done because Yahweh Shem Shai wanted you to do it. You might go off and do stuff, right? Because he wanted you to go off. And we don't, let me get that. What's that? So like I know I said I had one more. What is that? Isaiah, was it 55? Um, let me see. Here we go. Isaiah 55 and verse number 8, it says, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are my ways, neither are your ways my ways." Right? So verse 9, it says, as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. Right? We can't comprehend. Right? We thinking we doing our own little will. No, it's all the will of the Lord. Right? And we can't comprehend why he got us go off. Right? We can't ponder why, what, man, why did I do that, man? Because you go off and you be like, man, why did I do that? Right? You not understanding that, hey, that the Lord could have did that so you could, to get you right? Or to humble you, to keep you humble, man. When you thinking that you being over righteous or doing something, hey, the Lord will humble you and get you. You don't know, right? Because your thoughts are way lower than the Most High's thoughts. The Most High has, you know, you call it, if you think of this as a chess game, he's infinity moves ahead of you. Because you don't even know. You play chess with Yabashi Rashai, you'll lose every time because he already programmed you to know, oh, you gonna go here, so I'm gonna go here. You know what I mean? He's already done that, right? You cannot avoid or escape the will of Yahweh Shem Shai, right? And what did they say? Let's go to the book of Acts, right? You can't escape it, right? Or matter of fact, let me go to Proverbs, right? Let's go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 16 and verse number 9. And it says, "A man's heart deviseth his way." Right? So a man's mind and his thoughts devise his way. It says, "But Yahweh Hashem Yashai directeth his steps." Right? So you thinking you going this way, and you're gonna be the Most High will make you go that way. You know? And like I say, I'm a true testament to that because there's a lot of things that I said, when I was younger and growing up and, spelling myself thinking, hey, I'm going to do this or I ain't going to do that and I ain't going to be messing with this. And all of a sudden, here I am. Or I ain't going to be like this. And then look, here I am. Or, everything that I said and thought in my mind, hey, the Lord did otherwise, And look, here I am now, man. Right? Here I am now, you know, out here pushing this gospel through the unicorn, right, to the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man, to my people, man, right? He knew, like his thoughts were, hey, this is what you want to be, but this is what I'm going to make you to be, right? And guess what, man? All praises, man. Call her like how about Shema Mashiach Yahweh, right? So let's get one more. Let's go to the book of Acts, chapter 5, and verse number 39. And it says, "But if it be of the Most High, ye cannot overthrow it." Right? The will of Yahweh Shema Shai stands strong and firm, and you cannot disrupt it. You can't. There's nothing you can do to change it because it's His will. This is His. This is His everything. Right? Who are we? We are just the vessels of clay. Right? Who are we to think that we have any say so in this thing, man? It says, "But if it be of the Most High, you cannot overthrow it. Lest happily you be found even to fight against the Most High," right? And we know, hey, the Lord can put in your heart to fight, like He's gonna do, in the battle of Yehoshaphat, right? That He's gonna put it in the hearts of the men of these other nations, man, to try to come up against Yahweh Shai and the angels, man, and they gonna be fearful, right? Just how He did the Pharaoh, He put it in the heart of the Pharaoh to come up against the children of Israel just so he could show his power, man. He could do it just to show his power, but it's all, at the end of the day, it's all the will of Yahweh Shem Shai, right? So when you say something, or somebody asks, hey, you need to say Lord's will, man, or Yahweh Shem Shai's will at the end of the day, because it's not your will, right? It's not your will. Yahweh Shai told us that, not my will, but thine will be done, We pray that every day, When you do Matthew 6 and 9, man. When you do the prayer of the Lord, man. Not thy will, that thy will be done, you know? We got to understand that, man, right? It's not a far-fetched thing, but a lot of people, they can't, grasp it or understand it, man. But at the end of the day, this is all the Lord's will, man. So when you say you're going to do something, you can't really put a promise on it because you don't know. You got to say Lord's will, man. Lord's will, I will, right? And Lord's will, we'll be part of that number, and we can make it and be saved, man. If it be the Lord's will, to be His mercy, man, right? Um, so I hope this has been edifying, right? I want to give all praises, honor, and glory, right? I want to say Kahala Yahweh, Bahashem Mashiach Yahushai, Bahashem Rakak Radash, peace and blessing to the 12 tribes scattered abroad, right? A mighty shalom to the hopeful elect, man. Stay strong, right? Keep praying for one another, man. Keep praying for the downfall of this wicked and evil place, man. And keep praying that, that we endure until the last days, man. Yahweh Shema Shai's will, right? And with that, shalom.